The following announcement is paid for by the Wrestling with Nerds.
From Mordor to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join nerds doing nerd things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.
Hey there, the name's Nukem, Duke Nukem, and you're watching the Nerds Doing Nerd Things podcast. For some unknown reason, enjoy.
What's going on, wrestling nerds? Welcome to episode number 12 of the Wrestling with Nerds podcast. I'm AJ Capola, and over there, am I looking the right way? I am looking the right way. It's Mr. TJ Barnier.
Hi, I was counting.
Put Sesame
Not
Street's
one,
on in the morning.
Not two, not 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. How the fuck do I get to 12? Oh yeah, 12 episodes now. Holy shit!
Well, and then you got all our side content and everything. I thought you were gonna straight do the count from
No.
Sesame Street 1, 2,
You were wrong.
And then it's the wrestling guru who is going to have so much fun tonight. So much fun. You guys are in store for a hell of a show.
I have on a serving platter a head for you, my king.
I'm going to enjoy it.
We got a spoiler alert earlier, and Ryan was like, you guys are going to be shut the fuck up for about 20 minutes while I do my bullshit. We'll get there. But TJ, what are we talking about tonight?
Well, AJ, we have done 2 prior Survivor Series from you 2 panelists here on the show.
Yep.
That was, air quote, your favorite Survivor Series.
And both were shitted on by the end of the night.
Oh, I'm sure this one's right in line with that. It has fallen to me now to bring up something of the modern era. So I went with one that I remember very, very well because of the storyline involved, and it is Survivor Series 2014. And if you can't tell by looking over my shoulders, it involves these people. And then also whatever the hell AJ has going on over there. Where if you didn't know Kane was behind his head, you'd think Big Show was farting and knocking Cena into oblivion.
And only 2 of them on that team are still with WWE.
Well, okay. Now, yes, to be fair. Like, as of the last month.
So, just so everybody can get a little background knowledge of Survivor Series 2014, November 23rd, 2014, from St. Louis, Missouri's Scotts Trade Center. 12,000 people were in attendance, but the buy rate's going to be weird. Ever since the network became a thing, they stopped counting they only count the pay-per-view buys. They don't count any of the streaming numbers. But just pay-per-view buys alone, we're looking at 100,000. Which, to me, I'm like, it's $9.99. Just buy the network. Do it. It's only said like 35,000 times throughout the damn show.
For $9.99.
Like, it got so memeable, they made commercials about it.
They had shirts. They had everything. People in the crowd had signs. It's $9.99.
So let's go right into this pay-per-view. The first match was Damien Mizdow and The Miz defeat Goldust and Stardust, Los Matadores, Diego and Fernando, with El Torito, and the Usos. TJ, what are your thoughts on this match?
So we're not counting the pre-show then. Got it.
Do we ever?
No, I have no idea. I mean, it was. First of all, the cool part about this is Cody Rhodes, obviously, who has come home and had a lot more fun than he was having at this moment. Even though they were the champions, Cody was hating this character.
Oh yeah.
But it was just really fun to see the brothers being able to work together. Again, Usos working together. We all know where these guys are right now. They're having huge feuds on TV. I got nothing for the Matador guys and the little bull thing that like
El Torito.
El Trito.
I want a Frito. Anyway, they were cool. Like they were.
Were they cool?
I
I mean,
mean,
they weren't
'cause they're-
Caribbean
'cause-
cool.
Because their brother's cool.
Yeah.
honestly,
I mean,
the best part about this match was freaking Mizdow. 100%. I don't care what anybody says.
oh
it's
yeah,
fucking
I was getting there, dog. Again, we have the Miz and possibly the greatest sidekick he's ever had in the Miz again, but Mizdow, who was
debatable.
fucking awesome.
I gotta say.
You think he's got a better
Miz-
sidekick?
Yeah, her name's Maurice.
No. She's not a sidekick. She's the show. He's the sidekick in that scenario. Let's
I mean,
be
I
honest.
really liked A-Rai. I really liked A-Rai.
I'm just saying, Ms. Dow was fucking phenomenal. And this match showed it. I mean, his antics, Miz gets tossed into the ropes. He acts like he gets tossed into the ropes. Miz gets punched big. It's just fucking hilarious. It's comedy gold. He steals the pinfall. And Miz is like,
Pissed.
the fuck,
That
guy?
was mine.
The fuck, guy? You're supposed to be mimicking me, not leading. And I think these were the little seeds that WWE was planting that eventually, when this blows up, it's little moments like this that,
Mhm.
pride got in the way. You're being brought to the show by Miz, but you're stealing the show at the right moment. It was just perfect for the eventual payoff.
I mean, I thought this was a really fun opening match. It did what it
Long.
needed to. It was
All the matches prior to the Survivor Series match were long because it wasn't a big card. They had a good night to fill.
I mean, there are 2 matches under 5 minutes.
Well, one of them, can you really call it a match?
No.
I mean, I've seen squash eaten longer than fucking that match.
But no, like you mentioned, this whole match went 15-25. But it was fun. It got the crowd into it because God only knows the
And I
The
feel like
two
we don't
pre-show
get long
matches
tag
didn't.
matches like this anymore. Like, when do you have a 15-minute tag match anymore?
only usually when it's elimination. This was not elimination.
Right. I mean, it was, like I said, this was a fun match. I enjoyed it.
Ryan?
Everybody got their stuff in.
I enjoyed this match. It's a good old classic tag team match. I don't like fatal 4-ways or triple threat tag matches because I feel like there's too many people and everybody's just trying to get their shit in. But I mean,
Almost like
Cody.
your glare is killing me.
What?
Your glare is killing us.
I don't want you to see my eyes, and that way you don't know if I'm asleep or not.
Jesus.
Which I mean, in a couple of these matches, I'll
I mean,
be
it's not like we're
asleep.
broadcasting an iRacing race.
I mean, I don't like fatal 4-way tag matches or triple threat tag matches. There's just too many people. But we saw Cody and Dustin do what they do best. The Usos were phenomenal at this young stage of the Usos. Miz and Mizdow are kind of the comedy act for this match, and then
I mean, it's not El Torito.
no, that little dude could work. I mean, you go back,
Well, yeah, but
The WLC.
yeah, the WLC with him and Hornswoggle. They finally brought somebody in for Hornswoggle to work that was his size.
That was such a fun, stupid match.
But I mean, if you would have told me this match had the Lost Matadors in it, I'd have said, well, okay. I mean, that's pretty much what their run was in WWE. It was like, Good thing they had a mask on because they could get another gimmick that way.
Yeah. TJ, want to go to match number 2? Would you like me to read it off?
Sure. Who we got?
It
Remind
is
me.
the women's 4-on-4 Survivor Series elimination match. Team Natalia, Alicia Fox, Emma, and Naomi with Tyson Kidd versus Team Paige. Paige, Cameron, Layla, and Summer Rae. It was about 14 and a half minutes long. All right, next match is Bray Wyatt. And I'm kidding.
I mean, dude, to be fair,
This was literally just to fill the need for the Total Diva show. That is the only reason this match was on the card.
can I just say the women's revolution, which shortly follows this, was so needed. So needed.
This Survivor Series, maybe even pay-per-view by far, is the worst demonstration of female wrestling ever.
Yeah. Yes. I agree 100%. It was if you really had to go take a shit, you had 14 and a half minutes to go do it.
And that's 2 matches.
And here, you ready for the clickbait moment? And I don't mean this. I'm not 1,000% not serious. And that's why I chose this one. No kidding.
Yeah,
No,
I
it's
honestly
so bad, and I wish it was better.
I don't even remember who wins this match. That's how bad it was.
Do you want to know?
Don't care. Go ahead.
It's a clean sweep for Team Natalia.
Yeah, see, that's just. I mean,
And Natalia did absolutely nothing this match.
I mean,
stand in the corner and look pretty.
Naomi with an elimination, Alicia Fox, then Emma, then Naomi again. Match
Who
is
was
over.
on the other team?
Cameron, Layla, Summer Rae, and Paige.
So literally the only person on this match that's still with the WWE is Natalia. And her husband, who's an agent.
I miss TJ. I miss him so much. He was so good.
Dude, I don't know if he was meant to be at ringside and just looked like he could not have been more disinterested, but he didn't look like he gave a shit.
He didn't give a fuck. So this is one that I'm really excited to talk about. And TJ, when I think we were all watching this, you guys were kind of downplaying a tiny bit, but I found this match very good until the final 30 seconds.
Well, this is another one of those matches where WWE puts on a phenomenal show and then botches the finish for what reason? Why? Why were we doing this back then? I don't get it. Dean Ambrose in the kickoff of solo run Dean Ambrose, establishing himself as got to be bloody in 2 minutes or less to make the match good. Fighting, one of my favorite versions of Bray Wyatt, but it's Wyatt family-less. I think part of the story here was that he had lost his family and he was kind of trying to find a new sort of thing because they had all split up.
Yep.
And it's just the match itself is fucking great.
Yeah, yeah.
They beat the hell out of each other. And, that's what you would have expected these two to do to each other, was beat the hell out of each other. And they do it for how long?
14 flat. And I think that's about 3 minutes too long because by the end of it, it feels like it's getting dragged out.
Yeah, I mean,
Ryan?
the ending
Hold on.
is just...
This match to me is almost just as boring as the match before.
Really?
That first 6-7 minutes of this match are so drawn out and long and not getting to a point. It was like they both had an idea on what they wanted to do in the match.
They were opposite.
And it wasn't what they both agreed on. It was so stagnant for that first half of that match. We watched this back, me and T did, and I told him, I said, dude, this match is boring. I love watching these two. I mean, the Cape Fear Bray is my favorite by far. And we'll get into Bray more when we do an episode on him. The Cape Fear Bray is by far my favorite, and this is where that character kind of starts to lose it a little bit because he doesn't have his family. And don't get me wrong, like I just said, I love Bray Wyatt's characters to a point. But then there's sometimes with his characters where it makes absolutely no fucking sense, even what he's talking about.
Mm.
And I know it's still fresh on everybody, so I'll take it there. But this first 7 minutes of this match is very, very dry. Um, do I blame both of them? You can't blame either one of them for it. They probably both went in with different mindsets on ideas, and it's the way it was. I don't like the idea that they used a big four to lead to another match because we find out later that all this did was set up a pay-per-view match for the following month at TLC with Bray and Dean and tables, ladders, and chairs. So it's just this pay-per-view card for me until you get to the main event is very, very stagnant. I don't know what it was for me. I don't remember what it was like when I watched it when it was live. If I felt that way, but going back and watching it, it was very, very stagnant.
See, I'm kind of like that. I'm kind of on the same page. I enjoyed the very first Fatal 4-Way Tag match. Very much enjoyed it. And I very much enjoyed the main event. But there were parts of the match we're talking about right now between Bray Wyatt defeating Dean Ambrose in 14 minutes. I really liked. Ryan, completely agree with you. It's literally a Floyd Mayweather fight. They're just killing time doing nothing. And then they do everything.
Yeah.
And I think, to a point, some of that's probably the fact that they didn't have a fuller card here. I mean, were there I'm trying to remember, and I can never remember. Was there injuries this year?
Roman?
Like, was that what Roman? I know Roman was hurt, but you can't tell me Roman, like, where
Roman's out. Sheamus is out with a pec from Money in
Randy?
the Bank.
Orton?
I don't remember. No, Orton got taken out 2 weeks before this pay-per-view, remember? They show a highlight of it before the main event. The Authority take him out.
Like,
But, I mean, we'll get into it later, but you could easily have Randy. You could easily have Randy show up here if need be.
right. I mean, it's just it felt like they, for whatever reason, didn't fill this card out the way they should have, which is just odd. Which then left some of the matches that would have been beneficial with being a 10-minute match versus a 15-minute match not being. And then you also get where I believe we go after this match. Do we want to go there? Do we want to talk about the ending just a wee bit more?
Sure.
I mean, Dean, they start introducing weapons. This is a weird spot. Bray goes out and gets 2 chairs. There was 1 chair into the ring. I was like, okay. And then gets in with the other chair. And the referee goes right over and removes the other chair.
Not the one
Like,
It was
Right.
it was meant to distract the referee to move that chair so he could use the chair he brought in.
Which
It's clever.
worked,
It's clever.
except Dean takes the chair from him, and then he literally is like, just hit me, beat me. Like,
Well, yeah,
odd.
he wants Dean to hit him because then he gets disqualified.
Mhm.
The Bray character is not stupid. It makes you think. He knows that if Dean has the chair and uses it, he gets disqualified and Bray gets the win. So if his plan backfired to get the referee to be distracted by eliminating the other chair, then the only smart thing to say is go ahead and hit me with the other one because then I win.
So is this a different way of doing the Eddie Guerrero with the chair? I guess.
Well, yeah, didn't we just see this recently where somebody got baited into drilling each other with a chair to get a win?
I don't actually know. I don't remember. Like recently?
Yeah.
If
Can
you if you
allude to it?
know,
'Cause I'm drawing a
I
blank.
don't. That's why I'm drawing a blank.
I mean, it's possible. But I mean, essentially, then from there it leads to Dean hits Bray with the chair a few times, 30 deeds, I think, onto the chair, and then he buries him in a pile of chairs. and then he gets a table and puts him through a table, and he just starts burying him in chairs and tables, and then he gets out a ladder, and it's like, okay, if you'd have set him up and jumped off the ladder onto the table, that'd have been cool. But he sets the ladder up, climbs like all the way up it, and stands there. And yeah, I mean, I want to say this guy was. I think this match at one point got this was awesome, if I remember right.
I think it
which
did.
is surprising. Which is surprising, but it just. I'm not a fan of killing a finish to set up another match down the road. When you have a Raw and a SmackDown to do that, have this match end, tease it, you know. If you want to have the post-match beatdown, sure. If you want to have him jump off the ladder onto the table post-match and have that go, but don't ruin the finish of the match to do it. Again, the last Survivor Series we covered, Jeff Hardy jumps off the top of the cage through a table and kills the finish of the match.
Yeah.
It's felt very similar.
You ready to go into the next match?
Just to give you this insight. So you get into the next pay-per-view, and that match is the main event. They built that match as the main event for TLC. And
yeah,
Bray got the win with Sister Abigail.
Oh, it's not the fourth match I'm thinking of. That was a fucking.
So it was like,
mess.
It was kind of a waste. It was a way to get a main event to get Rollins the night off, I guess. Well, no, Rollins. This is weird WWE booking. Dean Ambrose and Bray Wyatt are the main event. John Cena and Seth Rollins are a match midway through the card. And a tables match.
But we digress. Fourth match, AJ?
So the next match following this weird barn burner kind of thing. This is going to be fast, people. We're not going to stay a lot of time on these. It's Adam Rose and the Bunny defeat Slater Gator.
Yep.
Heath Slater, Titus O'Neil. Happened.
Yep.
Stupid.
Happened. It was
done.
Pointless.
We never even find out who the Bunny is on TV. But yet he takes like the main part in the match.
Next is the Women's Championship match, or the Divas Championship match. AJ Lee defends against Nikki Bella. This goes on for 33 seconds. Nikki wins. Game over. Main event time.
You forgot the part where Brie costs.
This is the end of AJ Lee. AJ Lee is gone after this spot. This is how they get rid of her.
Okay.
And apparently they throw out the storyline that had been building the month prior with Brie being Nikki's like
bitch
assistant. Basically, yes. I wasn't going to go that far, AJ, but yes.
Why? What's ever stopped us before?
I didn't want to be that demeaning to the women audience, okay?
Well, you didn't want to be that demeaning, but giving them 33 seconds for the Divas Championship was demeaning enough.
But I mean, it also goes against if Brie was going to help somebody win this match, it should have been AJ, not Nikki. I get AJ's leaving the company, but it made no sense.
Well, to your point, you would think that, but also, it easily could have been Nikki and Brie playing everybody.
Mm-hmm. That's kind of where I was going with that.
Those storylines always stay on that fence, so they can go either way, and that's where that went. Nikki, I think this is Nikki cost Brie at SummerSlam against Stephanie, and that's how she became Nikki's assistant, is because Stephanie told her to be, and that's how this whole storyline built. And then it's easy for Nikki or Brie to flip on AJ instead of Nikki because they're sisters.
Wasn't that the feud too, where the two of them had a match and like Vicky Guerrero ended up in a pool of slop? Wasn't that this feud?
I try to forget about Vicky Guerrero.
I'm just asking for.
Is this where she falls in the tub of gravy?
I think so. I think it was
we have our own experiences with gravy. We don't need to have it here.
We're gonna have it. We're literally having it. Yes, well, from where this airs yesterday, Thanksgiving.
Well, I had my turkey with Thanksgiving gravy. We're good.
So let's
Not
get
that
into the main event. You're looking at the traditional 5-on-5 Survivor Series elimination match. You have Team Authority versus Team Cena. If the Authority were to win, Team Cena is fired. But if Team
no,
Cena
all but
wins,
John. John remains. The other 4 get fired.
okay. But if Cena's team wins, the Authority is no longer in power. Ryan, where would you like your rant?
Not even just and removed from power. Triple H is fired as COO. Kane is fired as director of operations. And this is kind of funny because a billion-dollar corporation can't have this happen without any kind of other things. Stephanie is fired as one of the principal owners.
That was all something too that came about at the top of the show. Vinnie Mac comes out, as only Vinnie Mac can. And they have this long conversation, the 3 of them, about, if this happens in the match, like, we're not really gonna be out of power. Cena comes out and Vince is like, well, no, like,
Y'all are
you
gone.
are out of powder. Like, you wanted to play with fire, you fuck around, you're gonna find out. And they were kind of like, oh, well, and then like, oh, shit.
He was serious. Shit.
Like, we thought he was playing. Vince weren't playing.
I think this is by far the longest Survivor Series match in history.
43 minutes.
It is fucking long.
It's a third of the pay-per-view.
Dude, after the second elimination, it's almost 14, 15 minutes till the next one.
How quick was the first elimination, AJ? I'm just curious.
50 seconds.
50
It's
seconds.
Big Show eliminated. Hold on.
No, Big Show
It's
eliminated Mark Henry.
Yeah, Mark Henry eliminated Big Show
with the weapon of destruction.
It's one hell of a KO punch. But Ryan,
Man.
Before we get, I love that reference. Before we get into this,
I was gonna go ahead and move on to the second elimination so I can start my rant.
All right. Hold on. Let me cue this up. TJ, are you ready?
Is he in the ring behind you, or is he conveniently the one missing?
He's over there, all the way over to the corner where he needs to be. No, he's not. He's already eliminated.
He's gone.
He's gone.
Him and Mark Henry are gone.
So
this is when the real wrestlers get in the ring.
Was Mark Henry hurt too? Like, I'm just curious. Why was that one so quick?
For shock and all.
Okay.
Let's paint the picture.
I think he'd have been fun to watch.
You think about how big and bad Cena's team is with Show and Rowan, and you think about Rollins has the world's strongest man. You get him punched, knocked out first, and then it's kind of like when you go into the prison yard, you take on the biggest and the baddest and knock them out. That's what that was.
And you see Triple H like visibly getting like shook at that elimination. It starts to kind of break him a little.
So
that would be one he wouldn't have expected to be first.
Let me set this up for you so everybody can get into character. Let's do this. So, for the main event of the 2024 Survivor Series, you have Team Cena, John Cena, Dolph Ziggler, Eric Rowan, Big Show, and Asshole. And then Team Authority, Seth Rollins, Kane, Luke Harper, Mark Henry, and Rusev.
You called him asshole.
Let's also paint the picture of the Team Authority had Jamie Noble, Joey Mercury, Lana, Stephanie McMahon, Triple H. Team Cena, nobody. All right. So, first elimination, as we mentioned earlier, Mark Henry was eliminated by Big Show with the KO punch. Elimination 2. Asshole is eliminated by Rusev at the 8:10 mark by pinfall. I got my drink. Ryan, the floor is yours. I'm pretty sure TJ and myself, the real J&J security, are going to chime in with more analysts. analytics and all that stuff of our bullshit with him.
While drinking good drink.
I don't. I respect what every wrestler does, and I'm not here to bury everybody. Just some of them. And you called him asshole. Perfect name for him, but I'll give him his due. His name is Ryback. Ryback is the biggest self-absorbed jackass I have ever seen in the wrestling business. He believes his own hype so much that he still thinks after 4 years at least of being off because of his shoulders and his surgeries and his what the fuck ever tree of life, whatever book, whatever thing he read, that anybody in the wrestling business or wrestling fandom wants to see that dumbass in the ring wrestling is just beyond me. I have seen his TikToks. I have seen the posts that this idiot has made. Derogatory comments towards Triple H, and at one point wished that Vince McMahon would die. You're a fucking joke. Flat out. And I don't care. He'll never see this most likely, but it's just my feelings on him. And that's why we won't cover him a lot. He is a fucking joke.
We could make it a tag.
He is, I swear to God, he's the biggest one that believes his own hype. Even that stupid punk guy from Chicago doesn't believe his own hype that much.
I mean, what about that guy?
He deserves it. He's done the work. Ryback has done jack shit in the wrestling business. He was the main event guy because he was a big body guy in a time where they needed somebody to be there for everybody to beat. That is the only reason he was big, was because they needed somebody to beat a bigger person. Ryback sucks. Sorry. Facts are facts. He won the Intercontinental title because they were starting to give him an undefeated streak that nobody wanted to watch. Then they put him with Joe Henning, who is by far a better fucking worker. And he started calling everybody idiots and punks and bullies and whatever the fuck he was doing. I stopped watching him. But he did nothing. And I will admit, a friend thing followed him or whatever on TikTok just so I had some humor while I was taking a shit. Because listening to him have battles with people telling him what he does for a living is a fucking joke. Oh, I'm just waiting on my arms to get better and my shoulders to do this and this. I work twice as hard as everybody else because I want to be. No, it's because you got nothing else fucking better to do. You have a supplement company that probably nobody buys anything from. And if they do, they're fucking idiots for it. I'm just sick of fucking people thinking they deserve this high glory praise because they once wrestled in the WWE.
Speaking of that, not to cut you off because I want you to continue, I really hope one of them doesn't show up Sunday or Saturday. Really hope one of them does not show up on Saturday.
Oh.
Continue.
It's just he's just one of those guys that it just irks me to the highest heavens. This dude, he's such a fucking idiot. I've gotten blocked from him on Twitter for easily telling him that he's an idiot. But do you realize what he calls Bryan Danielson? Have you ever heard what he actually calls Bryan Danielson?
No.
No, please tell me.
Because he didn't know Bryan Danielson was his real name. He thought his name was Daniel Bryan. Ryback calls him Dan. Even after learning that his first name is Brian, he calls him Dan. Are you
sad.
fucking serious?
That is really sad.
He is pound for pound, all 200 and whatever fucking pounds he is. He is the prime definition of what a fucking meathead is. Because that's what he is. And nobody ever blows smoke. Everybody nobody ever fucking talks about him on any podcast because he ain't worth it. I just want to do it because I feel like fucking digging a hole and burying him in it.
I mean,
I
the only thing I
I
don't have is
can't
popcorn.
I can't stand him. It's just, again, you do fucking nothing in the business and you think you're somebody because you once wrestled in the WWE.
Where's that Biggie gif?
Every time he got a run, he got fucking hurt or he didn't like what he was doing. It's just he's more of an asshole now than what he was when he wrestled.
So you
And
want to hear something
and,
really funny, Ryan? When you're done,
and it's like I'm so sick of hearing him talking about, well, when I make my comeback, who the fuck's gonna want you for a comeback?
Whose phone are you think is calling you?
because
Scott,
if anybody brings it back, they're gonna
if
bury you if something goes
if
wrong.
anybody brings him back, maybe Scott the more an impact, but I think after he signs him, he's gonna realize, well, I fucked up on that one. Tony Khan, I don't think is dumb enough, unless he snorts the right amount of cocaine, is dumb enough to do it. And you know goddamn well Triple H ain't gonna do it.
Oh God, no.
So where are you making your comeback? Fucking Independence in Las Vegas where you live? Good
Speaking
luck
of
with that.
independence, he made a cameo, or not, like actually showed up, made one move, and left. But as I've talked about on the show before, up in the Northeast, there is Northeast Wrestling, NEW. They do exactly what it says, the Northeast. He showed up at one of the events I went to, and I shit you not, the minute his head, because obviously with how big that fucking head is, came through the curtain first, that place was boo central. Like, I mean, boo. Like, I am like this.
Like Dominic Mysterio getting booed
Yes.
for the booze.
Yeah,
sake.
maybe not as loud, but yes, very much. He literally did something, walked out of the ring, and then just left. And then then I was able to.
It's just easy to make this similarity, and I know everybody, so let's not hurt anybody's feelings. Fuck that. There's only two guys in the business that were dumb enough to legally change their names so they could keep their gimmick because they believed in it too much.
Okay.
And they are
Ryback and
It's the Ultimate Warrior and Ryback. Now, what fucking level does that put him on?
no way. The Ultimate Warrior legit changed his name to Ultimate Warrior.
No, he changed his name to Warrior. He legitimately changed his name from Jim Hellwig to Warrior. That's why his kids and his wife, unfortunately, still have to live with the last name Warrior. Not him, though.
All right. So now
my rant's over. I wanted to waste the.
Oh, come on. Feed me more.
I'll feed you
Feed
more.
me more.
TJ, I'm pretty sure we don't need to feed you anymore.
I just wanted the 5 or so minutes to just go on one of my rants. He just fucking irks me to the highest heaven.
Well, TJ, you won. You bet the over. He went over 5 minutes.
Oh man.
Well, guess what? Cheers to that.
So he gets eliminated second by Rusev. The only time I'll ever root for Rusev.
Oh come on. You don't like? You don't like?
Did I almost go as long as he was in the match?
Yeah. Well, I mean, do you count in the matches actually have been in the ring? Yeah.
In ring time, he was only in ring for 2.5 minutes.
I'll take it.
That's all he needed to be in.
So, Rusev then gets eliminated by countout.
Let's stop there for a minute. I don't know what your two's opinion is, and I'll get it in a minute. But Rusev is one of the biggest ones.
Can we just start with Miro? It's fine to call him Miro,
or
right?
Miro, whatever. I feel like that is the one out of everybody in this match that's younger. So not Cena, not Show, not Kane, not Rollins, not even Ziggler. I feel like Rusev or Miro is the guy that they drop the ball on more than anybody on the entire roster at this time.
Oh, fuck yeah. I would sell that.
And he's even the United States champion at this time.
Dude,
I personally love Miro. I hate what they're doing with him at that we'll buy anybody's contract and not show him on TV.
The glorified indie show.
I'm so waiting for that contract to be over with so that he comes back to the WWE with Hunter in charge.
The thing is, towards the end of his run in WWE, wasn't it turning around? Because I
He was
really
hot.
Dude,
Yeah.
he was hot. Rusev Day
Day.
was the fucking thing.
Rusev Day was awesome.
And even
But-
for a hot minute was Lana Day. Like, it was fucking boiling over. It was
TJ,
LA Knight.
TJ,
Popular,
you have to
AJ.
be careful with putting your head back because you were disembodied.
That's how mad I am.
But it's like
Rusev Day was on par with LA Knight right now. It was that fucking hot.
I personally love Miro. I love his in-ring work. If you told me to pick wrestlers to give you a body style of what I think a perfect wrestler looks like, there's two people that come to mind to me. Miro is one, and Drew McIntyre is the other one. They are the two guys that if you tell me what is a professional wrestler, they are the two guys that I point to. And I think that's more because of me being raised in the 80s golden era with the bigger guys. I'm more prone to like the bigger guys because that's what appeals to me size-wise. But it's like I could see Miro easily of becoming the WWE champion. Easily. He could have easily taken it off of Rollins at some point, or even taken it off of Cena. If he'd have took it off of Cena, and they would have gave Miro or Rusev the monster heel push that they gave Rollins, so I guess at this point, or right after this, that would have been fantastic. If you just wait, I mean, we're a year out from when Rollins hurts his knee, and they have to crown a new champion. And remember, they do the whole Roman wins, and then Sheamus cashes in like the 423. Scratch Sheamus and do it with Miro, and you have Miro versus Roman for months. I would love it. I absolutely love
wasn't he a
watching
part of
Miro.
that feud because of the whole League of Nations or whatever?
I think so. But
Yeah.
it's just,
he's a side piece at that point when he could have been the main piece.
I mean, we can easily look at these teams and say Rusev is the one that they definitely missed the ball with. The ball-headed douchebag, who cares? Mark Henry and Big Show are the veterans. They don't need to be any kind of push. Rollins and Cena are the main event push. Kane's there to be Kane and be at Survivor Series. Luke Harper and Eric Rowan need to be together. They don't need to be separated.
Did we ever even get them singly fighting in the match? I know it was teased early in that match.
Yes. Eric Rowan is actually eliminated by Luke Harper.
Yeah, he clotheslines him.
But I mean, how long did we actually get of them
Don't
beating
know.
on each other? I don't think it was enough.
It's not long. It's within a spot elimination.
Because
And
the
then-
crowd
and
wanted
then-
it. The crowd wanted that.
And then when these two leave, or not leave, but like this whole gimmick stuff ends and they go away. And remember, they come back as the Bludgeon Brothers. Talk about an awesome team concept, entrance, everything. These two as the Bludgeon Brothers is fantastic.
Mhm.
Sadly enough, we've lost Brody and we've lost Bray. We only have Rowan and Braun as the only two members of the Wyatt family left. But this match is definitely weird split. And then we have Cena. Cena gets eliminated by Rollins.
Can we talk about how like out of the blue that kind of was? Because usually
was-
with these Survivor
was-
Series matches, the two captains are
It was
to the
really
end.
good how they did it because I mean we're already in the midst of Show being face in September, heel in October, face again in November. You know, like every time he changes his underwear, he changes his attitude.
Oh, if we haven't mentioned it and you're following along at home, Big Show turns on his team to not get
I
fired.
was gonna. What the fuck? What?
I didn't do it for this one this time.
Way to
It
go,
wasn't me.
fucking Paul Heyman. Why don't you just spoil the motherfucker?
Well, you were talking about him changing on Sunday, September, November
I
being
was
bad.
getting there. God
Well, I got
damn.
there quicker.
That's usual.
But they did a very good job of not showing their hand on the turn, you dickwad. That they lined
Tried to
up,
save you from that, and you just went with it anyway.
there, and you were just waiting to see what was going to happen, and then Big Show hits him with the knockout punch and ends up eliminating Cena with. That's two guys he's eliminated with punches.
And then he walks over, puts his hand over the ropes, and shakes Triple H's hand.
And I didn't catch it, but was he the legal man when he gets counted out, or
He
did he
was
just get out of the ring and walk?
he was the one in the ring when Cena was eliminated, so he
Okay.
became the legal man.
So then Show walks off on his team, and then you get
Well,
for whatever reason, the miracle run that is Dolph Ziggler.
Fry, has it ever mattered if the legal man is the guy in the ring when they count somebody out? I mean,
It didn't back in 1990, but in the words of the one thing or Ted DiBiase's ring music, it's a new day.
So it sounds like you didn't like Dolph Ziggler with this run at the end. I very much did. I loved it because it reminded me of shit that, now that we've seen from decades before rallying back.
I didn't hate it. I just hated that they didn't follow it up with anything.
Okay. Well, they did. And I'll get to there in a second. Kane eliminated
No.
by.
I mean, they didn't follow anything up with Dolph.
I see. Good. You saw where I was going with that. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you.
I didn't like that part. And I think what they end up doing with Dolph is I think he may take the title off of Luke for the Intercontinental title. But if you're gonna take out the WWE champion at however you do it, then you should it should have been the next month at TLC. It should have been Ziggler and Rollins, not Cena and Rollins. And it should have been for the WWE title in a tables match. There, I just rebooked that part you wanted me to.
But it's supposed to be a game, asshole. But Ziggler.
we haven't got for it to be time to play the game yet.
Am I supposed to laugh here like,
No, I just looked at him like he's an asshole. Dolph eliminates Kane at 29:35, and then 2 minutes later, exactly 2 minutes later, pins Harper. And that's when Triple H and Stephanie are going berserk on the ringside, to the point where if Dolph goes for any sort of pinfall, fuck the ref.
I mean, they employ him.
Bring in the next ref. Dolph goes for another pinfall. Triple H just mollywop, like jumps on the motherfucker. And, now all is lost. Dolph Ziggler's about to eat a pedigree, and you hear a certain crow noise.
I think Ryan needs to just shift his head a little.
And I think we all knew this was coming. We just didn't know
Did
at
we?
what point.
I think
Did we?
I think they waited way too long for us to get the crow noise. Like in the ring, like in the match. Like it took forever for somebody to hit the button.
Where were you expecting it?
No, there's just a long stagnant like
Right there.
Yeah, and it's like, oh wait, we forgot to hit the crow button. I mean, we expected it, kinda. Do we expect it at Survivor Series? I would have liked it more at the Rumble. I think you have a better opportunity. I don't like that they didn't follow it up at the Rumble. I don't like that. If you're gonna do it here at Survivor Series, then you need to follow it up at the Rumble too, to set up WrestleMania. Like, I'm trying to remember off the top of my head what that Rumble was main event wise. Um, that would have been Rollins. Did he defend it or did he not? But anyhow, it would have been made more sense to have Sting involved in Rumble. You could have killed all your birds with one stone at Rumble. If you think about it this way, if you have Sting show up and enter the Rumble,
Mhm.
and say maybe Hunter was in the Rumble, this Rumble was our triple threat between Rollins, Lesnar, and Cena.
Yes.
I was trying to remember that. But like, say Hunter for some reason is in the Rumble, like he's fired from his president job or COO job, but he's not fired from being a wrestler. So he enters the Rumble to try to get all of his jobs back. So you have him in the Rumble.
Orton versus Cena World Heavyweight Championship at the Rumble.
What?
Is that what it was?
I just looked at it. It was all three of them.
It just says, well, I mean, I don't know who was in it. It just singles match for WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Orton defeats Cena.
You're looking at the 2015 Rumble, right?
Maybe, maybe not. I don't know.
I don't think you are. You're looking at the 2024 Rumble.
I'm not looking at this year's Rumble.
Brock Lesnar defeats
2014,
Seth Rollins and John Cena by pinfall.
Yeah.
It's a 22-minute long match.
Because we get back, this is back to back, or this is Roman's first Mania win. This is our Rumble win, I mean. But I mean, you could have easily had Hunter in the Rumble. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, you could have easily done Taker in the Rumble. And you could have had Sting square off with Taker in the Rumble, had everybody's fantasy match, which never made any sense to me whatsoever why that was the match. I guess it's because they're the two dark characters. They're supposed to fight each other. I don't know.
Mm.
But you could have had Sting and Taker go at it. And then you could have had him either eliminate Triple H, or you could have Triple H eliminate him. And then you're off to the races to Mania. Just my thoughts.
Yeah. So continuing on with the match, all that happens between Dolph, Sting, and Seth. I was excited to see Sting. It was kind of a lackluster run he had in WWE outside of the little, we got you a statue, but it's actually Sting.
But also his face paints wore off.
Yeah.
Well, that's from the sweat inside the box under the heat lamps. His paint runs.
But then
or as Bobby the Brain Heenan used to say about the Ultimate Warrior, his paint chipped.
But Dolph ends up winning by pinning Seth Rollins a good 12 minutes later after pinning Luke Harper to win and be the sole survivor for Team Cena, and the Authority is kaput. Goodbye.
Or as Vince would say, "You're fired!"
Your microphone does not like you when you do that.
I know.
Thank God it did that, though.
This is the part where you can edit that back in, though. Just say it.
If it's never there, how do I put it back in?
You edit Vince's voice over mine. That's what you do.
Oh.
What do you think? He's really good at editing?
Time to find out. Make me thanks for giving.
Bitch, I don't want WWE to take this video down again.
It was a good finish, I guess. It gave Stephanie and Hunter off for the holidays, which is the whole reason this storyline was made.
Really?
Let's see here. When do they come back? When do we get to the whole briefcase thing, TJ?
I don't know, and I don't want to know. I hated the end. This is the thing. This feud was fun. This match result was fun because of what it did. And then they just went and it got stale, and they fucking... Why? For anybody that doesn't know how this feud ends, Edge shows up for her Edge perimeter. That Copeland, Adam, that guy, Christian's not brother, best friend. He shows up. I think Christian's with him. Rollins is gonna stomp the Money in the Bank briefcase on him and kill him.
Okay,
And
so just to fill the gap,
Cena brings him back.
just to
the
fill the
power.
gap, if you don't think that this was just made so Stephanie and Hunter were gone for the holidays, this pay-per-view is the weekend before Thanksgiving, I think. Hunter and Stephanie are reinstated on December the 29th on an episode of Raw, where Rollins threatens Edge's neck with the briefcase unless Cena reinstates the authority.
See, I thought it was shorter than that.
It's only enough. It's only a month.
See, I thought it was shorter than that. I literally thought it was like 2 weeks.
It's a
Maybe
month.
Vince just really likes Stephanie's cooking.
It's enough for them to have off Christmas or Thanksgiving and Christmas. No, they have their maids and nuns and.
I wonder if they employ the butler from Scary Movie 2 for the turkey.
Oh God!
I used my good hand.
Think about that. Think about that from Thursday after you think about where your turkey got rubbed down with.
Some nights I wish AJ would use his good brain.
Which one's the good brain?
It's called Abby Normal.
But no matter what, hold in your hearts that when this episode finally does air the following day, we get another Survivor Series.
I'm actually really excited for this year's.
It has potential.
It all depends. Are they going to kill the spoiler tomorrow or Friday? Or are they going to let it be a surprise till Saturday?
They ain't gonna wait. They gotta bill it.
I don't think we have to worry about CM Punk. I don't
think it's gonna be a shock. I think they might have revealed it this week.
Mm-hmm.
What,
you didn't watch SmackDown? No. Cody came out and rescued LA Knight.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't watch SmackDown. I thought I did. No, I wasn't home.
Yeah. It might just be LA Knight. Yeah.
And if he is the sole survivor, where does that push him? Ryan, since you're the only one that can play this fucking game.
I've already told you my theory for LA Knight. It's simple. He goes to the Rumble. He's not going to win the Rumble. He's going to get eliminated by Logan Paul. It's going to set up for Elimination Chamber. He's going to be he's going to eliminate Logan Paul at the Royal Rumble. Well, however the Elimination Chamber match is going to work out, he's going to be in the Chamber match, and Paul is going to eliminate him, whether he's in the match or not. He's either going to eliminate him or he's going to cost him to get eliminated.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to set up Logan Paul versus LA Knight for the United States Championship at WrestleMania.
And I like how you mention WrestleMania 40. Ryan, what have you been cooking up?
I had popcorn earlier.
Motherfucker. Like, seriously, like, the mother of fuckers. I was waiting for you to say something so I can click the damn button, but I'm happy I didn't click the damn button and blow the load before it actually happened. And you're going to be an asshole and take his drink.
Wait, whose mother?
Definitely not mine.
Our mother. After this week, it's our mother.
You're right.
So it's been talked about since it was announced that WrestleMania was going to be in Philadelphia. Happens to fall like literally smack dab in the middle of all three of us, location-wise. And whether them two decided they were going or not, I was going no matter what.
Well, now we're definitely going, so,
Wait a fuck. God damn it, both of you.
Well, you already said
I was not fucking there yet.
You said about TJ's mom and everything.
God. TJ, just get out of the screen altogether. Fall out of your chair, dickweed.
I was waiting there.
Oh, now your chair's in the way. Flip your chair over too.
All we saw was a lonely
Let's
tit.
do this.
There you go. That's right. The Wrestling with Nerds are going to WrestleMania. And the way I and it's gonna be fun. We're going up. We're
Well, you're
we're gonna
going
be
up. We're
there
coming
all.
down.
Well, yeah, I'm going up. They're coming down. It's
I
a
have to
2 hour
sit in a car
drive.
ride with TJ for 4 hours.
Maybe that's still in debate. A hot topic, but a button topic we'll get to later.
But anyhow, you could have just saved that for later. You didn't have to spoil that part. 2 hour drive for me, at least a 4 hour drive for one of them, and 6 hours or something for the other one. So it sounds like I win on that one because I don't have to ride with him for 4 hours.
No, but y'all got to deal with me sleeping.
I'm just gonna say it now. When them two get there, there's probably gonna be ready to have a battle royal between the two of them after a 4 hour car ride. I can only imagine.
What
But
you and I drive for a living, Ryan. We're gonna be fine.
I just met you two bickering back and forth with each other for 4 hours.
AJ, have you ever seen Tommy Boy?
Yes. No.
That's really gonna up the resale value. It's okay. They got a thick candy shell.
I can tell you this much, AJ, that if you're having a conversation with him and he's not giving you feedback as the conversation's going on, if you happen to glance over,
By giving you feedback.
he will most likely be asleep.
Oh, that's fine.
I'm talking within like 30 seconds of him getting in the car.
Music goes on blast. It's fine.
He'll sleep right through it.
That's fine. Music goes on blast.
Me and TJ went to a
The
wedding.
moment you pull
with
off,
friends.
though, I'm up.
It was funny as hell. Like I'm in the middle of a conversation with him. Like in the middle of a full blown conversation with him, and I look over and he's going, and I videotaped it. And I have it, and I will send
While
it
you're
to AJ if
driving?
I can find it. I don't. Sometimes you do illegal things for funny shit. So I'll make sure I send that to AJ so he has it. But I'm looking forward to it, guys. I told these two. I said, well, by the time this weekend is over with for WrestleMania weekend, it'll either be you guys absolutely love wrestling still, or you're gonna absolutely hate it. And the one we record at WrestleMania will be the last podcast because we're looking at like at least minimum 21 hours of WWE wrestling. And I'm taking you places for wrestling that we'll be going to independent shows at 1 o'clock in the morning for all I care.
I don't give a shit.
But
I'll sleep whenever my head hits the pillow. I don't give a fuck.
I'll
told
sleep between the venues. I'm good.
or you'll sleep at the venue because I gave you that warning too. If your ass falls
Could you
asleep somewhere,
imagine
I'm letting you fucking sit there.
TJ's like, can I just sit up against the wall during this show? Why?
I'm gonna
AJ,
send you.
I've got news for you. I've fallen asleep standing up before.
I'm gonna make sure
Did
you
you
have
fall
the
over?
address. I'm gonna
No.
make sure you have the address to the hotel.
So you could Uber?
That way, when you wake up on the side of the road or the side of the arena after they've kicked your ass out, you know where to send the Uber.
Hey, dude, we need a
Take me
forklift.
to the airport.
Oh yeah, that was the other joke we had with AJ was we were gonna get him so drunk, throw him in an Uber, and the Uber was gonna take him home to Connecticut. So
A lot of alcohol, boys.
that would have been hilarious for him to wake up in Connecticut. How the fuck did I get here? Well, you're the one that jumped in the Uber and said, "Take me home."
Let's hope TJ didn't drive to my house then, if that was the case.
So, but yeah, I mean, we're gonna be there for SmackDown. We're gonna be there for the Hall of Fame. We're gonna be there for NXT. We're gonna be there for night 1 and night 2 of Raw, Armenia, and then we're gonna be there for Raw. So, at minimum, I think at least 21 hours of wrestling, could be a little bit more.
Hopefully, I'm awake for all 21.
Saturday, it'll be literally we would be from about 11:30 a.m. till probably 2 o'clock in the morning. So It's gonna be fun. Um, I'm planning on spending a lot of money. Unfortunately,
You say, unfortunately.
this is this is my one and only time to make it to WrestleMania. I've made it to the Royal Rumble. I've now going to WrestleMania. They're the two big pay-per-views I always wanted to go to. The only other one that kind of gets on that level but not quite was Starrcade for WCW, and I went to the last Starrcade in WCW, not knowing that it was going to be the last. So I'm looking forward to it. We are going to record an episode while we're there. Gonna try to maybe get some on the street stuff. But I got a couple content creators I'm getting a hold of to play with. We have a chance to. I'm working on a chance to get somebody to kind of maybe possibly do an interview with us if he's not busy. Um, I got the hookups, so I'm working on that. So WrestleMania weekend is gonna be fun. Um, we're either gonna, like I said, it'll either be the last podcast or it'll be the start of more to come. But
Hey, Ryan, it can't be the last podcast. The wrestling shit's doing better than our nerd shit.
well, I told you that years ago.
And I'm going to throw this one out there. You guys may not know this. This is going to be my first live wrestling shows
That's sad.
ever.
What? All right,
This-
we gotta close up shop, boys. So let's.
Yeah, this closes it out for me. I've been to Raw, I've been to pay-per-views, and this will be my first SmackDown. So
I'm getting it all. I'm getting a Raw, a SmackDown, an NXT, a Hall of Fame. I'll never need to go to anything ever again.
That's not
there you
true.
go.
All right, everybody. Well, thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of the Nerd Wrestling with Nerds. I almost said Nerds Doing Anything's podcast, which it's also true.
Look, if we're getting the views, and then you're just gonna blatantly call it yeah,
But thanks for tuning in, Ryan. I'm pretty sure we're gonna be reviewing this year's Survivor Series next week. Correct?
sure. And then,
Among other things, there was
and
also,
then-
some gear full thing that just happened.
I've heard it was good. I don't know. And then
I wish
Kinda-
they had a network, honestly.
December's kind of a throw up on the first. Well, not really like a throw up, but it's a toss up, I guess. For the first couple of weeks, I think we're gonna review this coming week Survivor Series, and
Mhm.
then the week before it comes out on movie, we are going to kind of do a thing on the Von Erichs. The Iron Claw movie comes out December the 22nd.
Early reviews are phenomenal.
Yeah, I've heard the early reviews are fantastic. I've seen some interviews with those guys. I'm gonna take these two on a time machine. We're gonna go back to the mid '80s. I'm gonna give them maybe
Like
two
the
or
New
three.
Day's Time Machine.
No, two or three really good Von Erich matches to watch. Just to get an idea on how popular those three were. So I'm looking forward to it. By the way, the first thing you have to do about getting a time machine is building a time machine.
Oh, not a flux of capacitor or figuring out what speed you have to get to.
So I'm gonna give you some of the. I'm gonna give them some birds and boys, and I'm gonna give them. Kerry wins the NWA title from Flair, very popular match. And a couple other little things to review, but we're gonna do a whole review on the Von Erichs. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to the movie itself. I've already told my wife I'm probably gonna go see that twice in the first day it comes out just to make sure I like it.
All right, everybody. Well, thank you guys for tuning in again. We'll see you next Friday for the Survivor Series 2023 review.
Oh!